In our next exercise, we shall create a model of a USB drive as shown in this picture. As you can see, the model needs few pads, pockets and reference plane commands. For the first step, we will use centered rectangle and pad commands to create a solid block as shown in this slide. To begin with, let's click on Start, then Path Design from the shortcut we created earlier. I will create a point at the center, then start a position sketch with YZ plane as reference planar support and point 1 as origin under projection point. Now, let's draw a centered rectangle with the dimensions as shown in the picture below. The dimensions automatically showed up as the dimensional constraints option is active. I will go ahead and make this option inactive and delete the existing dimensions. I will use the constraint command to apply dimensions. Note that by double-clicking on the constraint command icon, it stays active until we hit the escape key. I will now exit the Sketcher workbench and select the pad command from the sketch-based features toolbar. I will apply 6 mm length with dimension as the first limit type. Also, I will select the mirrored extent checkbox to add thickness on both sides of the sketch. Let's preview the sketch and then click on OK to complete this command. We can use the measure command to verify that the pad is 12 mm thick. As part of the next step, we shall use reference plane, rectangle, and pad commands to update the design as shown in this slide. We shall now create a reference plane to proceed with the next step. From the Reference Elements toolbar, I will select the plane command. Observe available types of planes in the drop-down options from the plane definition window. I will leave the offset from plane option selected and click on the face of the pad as shown for reference selection field. Note that pad 1 or face 1 is showing in the reference field. Let's update the offset distance to 15 mm and click on reverse direction if necessary. I will click on preview and then click on OK to exit this window. Do you see a reference plane hanging in the graphics area? Next, I will draw a new sketch on the face of the pad as shown in this picture. To do this, I will select the face, then click on the Position Sketch command and click on the OK button. With the centered rectangle from the Profile toolbar, let's draw the rectangle starting from the origin. You can click the Fit All In option if required. Let me apply dimensions as shown. Next, let's select the pad command from the sketch-based features toolbar. In the definition window, let's change the first limit type to up to plane. I can select plane 1 from the graphics area or from the specification tree under the geometrical set 1 for the limit field. For the profile or surface field, let me select sketch 2. Now, I will select the thick checkbox. Under thin pad for thickness 1 field, let's type in 2 mm. This allows us to add thickness to a sketch from outside. I can click on reverse direction if necessary. I can click on preview to verify and then click on OK to complete this command. Let us now look at another way to do the same step. I can press the Ctrl Z key to undo the last pad command. Now, I will double click on the sketch 4. I am selecting all 4 lines of the rectangle by pressing and holding the Ctrl key and then clicking on the Offset command. If you first select the Offset command, it allows you to offset only one line at a time. Now that the offset feature is done, let's exit the Sketcher. I will now select the pad command. In the pad definition window, I will change the first limit type to up to plane. Next, I will select plane 1 from the specification tree under the geometric set 1 from the limit field. Ensuring that the sketch 2 is selected for selection under profile or surface, I will click on OK. I clicked on the specification tree stem and saw that the model in the graphics area had changed its color to dark gray. This means that the specification tree is active and responds to the mouse movements like zoom in or out, etc. At this point, I am unable to move the model. To reverse this situation, I can click on the coordinate axis at the bottom right corner of the CATIA window and the model becomes active again. Notice how the color of the model has changed back to the way it was. You can also click on the specification tree stem again to activate the model. For this next step, we shall create grooves on the latest pad as shown in the slide. I will use commands like rectangle, pocket, and mirror. I will select the face of the pad as shown and click on the position sketch. Next, I will draw a rectangle above the H direction axis as shown and apply dimensions to make this sketch fully constrained. It is recommended to always apply dimensions with reference to the coordinate axis as we barely change its position. I will exit the sketcher and then click on the pocket command. Let's change the depth value to 0.5 mm in the pocket definition window with dimension as the first limit type. I will click on the preview button. Then click on reverse direction button if necessary and then click on OK. Now, to select the mirror command, I will go to the transformation toolbar. I will select the XY plane for mirroring element field from the graphics area or the specification tree and pocket 1 for the object to mirror field. I will click on preview and then on OK. We just created a copy of the pocket feature. In the manufacturing industry, sharp edges are often avoided unless claimed necessary. Sharp edges cause injuries and are prone to wear and tear. Features like chamfer and fillets are used to achieve the smoothness. In this next step, we shall see how to apply chamfer to the corners. Let's use the chamfer command from the Dress Up Features toolbar in the chamfer definition window. I will leave the mode to length 1 or angle. Update length to 4 mm. Angle value to 45 degrees. For the objects to chamfer field, I will select the edges at the back end of the model as shown. I will click on OK to complete the chamfer operation. Do you see how the corners have flattened now? For this next step, we shall create another pocket feature on the upper surface of the model as shown. I will select the face of the pad, then click on the position sketch command and click on OK. Next, I will select the centered rectangle command from the profile toolbar and draw a rectangle. I shall use the constraint command to apply dimensions as shown in the picture below. Observe how I am referencing the yellow axis while giving dimensions. Next, let's click on the pocket command from the sketch-based features toolbar. I will update the depth value to 1 mm and then click on OK. I realized that the feature was created on the wrong face than I intended to. Should we delete this feature and sketch altogether and then create another one correctly? Luckily enough, CATIA has easier options to make this change. Let's see how. On the specification tree, if I right-click on the relevant sketch and at the bottom, hover on the sketch object, I can see more options. Here, I will click on the Change Sketch Support option. This opens up the sketch positioning definition window. Here, we can edit the reference planar support to the correct face on the model. Let's make sure the Move Geometry box is checked and then click on OK. We can see that the pocket feature has also moved to where the sketch was moved. On observing the specification tree, we can understand that sketches and their corresponding features are branched together. Sketch is the parent of the corresponding pad or pocket features. So, any changes to a sketch applies to its child features as well. I can right-click on the pocket feature, then click on the Parents or Children option to understand the structure. It makes more sense when we are working on a more complicated part design or assembly design. Whenever we make changes to the already existing features, it is advised to click on the Local Update button shown here in the Tools toolbar or in the right-click menu of that feature or sketch in the specification tray. Next, let's move on to creating another sketch and pad on the newly created pocket as shown in this slide. I will also use the Edge Fillet option to smoothen the sharp edges on the model. As always, I will select the face, then click on the Position Sketch command and then click on OK. Let's use Line and Profile commands from the Profile toolbar to create this sketch as shown. Now, I will exit the Sketcher workbench and then click on the Pad command. We are presented with an error. Let's read through this feature definition error. The selected sketch contains several open profiles or some geometry used for construction. You must specify the construction geometry to solve the profile ambiguity. Do you want to use the selected sketch anyway? Here, I will click on Yes, as I want to use this sketch as it is to make a pad. In the pad definition window, let's update the length value to 0.5 mm. Check the thick box. Then I will click on the More button. Let's update the thin pad thickness 1 to 0.3 mm. Click on Preview and then click on OK. This is how we can use the pad command to thicken an open sketch. Next, from the Dress Up Features toolbar, I will click on the Edge Fillet command. In the Edge Fillet definition window, under Objects to Fillet, I will select all the faces as shown. And update the radius value to 0.5 mm. I will click on OK buttons. All the sharp edges on the model are now smoothened. The USB drive part design exercise is now complete. Remember to save your work.